Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian, and we are back with more of The Flash. So before we start, I just want to say something real quick, having to do with future scheduling for these shows. So next week, hopefully anyway, things have been delayed, but hopefully next week I'll be starting a new job with the hours being very different. The new schedule though is going to get in the way of filming and such and editing, so Supergirl and Legends are going to be probably a day late than they normally would be, just because I only have time to record one episode of on one day and edit them as well, instead of what I usually do. So, sorry for those that watch Legends, and hopefully be able to be patient with me as I probably will have to do that the day after. This is an announcement just for those that don't watch Batwoman or Supergirl, because I made the same announcement. But yeah, that being said, guys, last episode we found out that Iris was actually pulled in by Eva. I guess more of a confirmation. I guess we could have been suspicious before, but Eva has control of these abilities that we didn't know. Like, she kind of lied to Iris about having control over the abilities. She created, apparently, I guess, like a mirror clone, projection, as Mirror Master has been able to do before. Not the one that we've had in the Flash, but just Mirror Master in general. So, what else was it last episode? Oh yeah, I forgot. Last episode was the Grodd one. Barry was in Grodd's mind. They merged, and Grodd had his powers, which was really cool. They were able to get Grodd free and put him in Gorilla City for basically probation. Oh crap! Yeah, Jesus. At the end credit, we saw Nash basically had a kind of a sort of introduction to Eobard, so that's gonna be great. I don't know if he's gonna tell the others about that anytime soon. I hope he does. I hope he comes to them, telling them first off that he's having these weird things, seeing the other Wells out in the just in his mind or whatever. And also, Allegra found out that he had some kind of connection with her doppelganger. So I don't know because he was going to talk to her about it in the end credit, but then the whole Eobard thing happened. So I don't know if he's gonna try to talk to her about it again. Oh yeah, and then the clone Iris stole some information from Joe's computer. So hopefully Joe will figure that out soon. Maybe he left it able for her to access it so that he could, I guess, catch her stealing or something, and I don't know, maybe point out to Barry that something's wrong. I don't know, but hopefully we'll find out soon.
It's okay. Barry's on it.
What am I on?
Wally? Is he blurry? I think I see yellow. Dude! Yo! What's this? What? He just... Are those time remnants or...
Always have to make an entrance, don't you, Kid Flash?
What can I say? It's great to be back.
Dude, heck yeah! Yo! Okay, go Wally.
A lotus flower.
Okay, that is seriously beautiful.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need you to teach me how to do that.
The lotus is one of the 8 auspicious symbols, meaning purity and renunciation.
2,190. 2,190. Hey, Iris, is everything okay? Yeah.
Dang it, she wasn't... Oh!
Greetings, Earth Prime.
Cisco, but god dang, that's not good.
Welcome home.
Uh-oh.
You guys shouldn't have.
Oh!
Shame.
Well, it's good to see you, friend.
Wally West? What? Where have you been? Welcome home. Welcome home. I see. Boy, you ready?
Let's go. Ready? Yo, whoa, 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 whoa!
Whoa, what was that?
Nothing. I was, I'm just, hiccup.
You're fine. Is this the turtle dude? That looks similar.
I prashai.
Whoa, what's going on? Whoa, wait, whoa. She's speeding her time up?
This wasn't Turtle. This was Turtle 2.
Great.
Sorry, I was just waiting for you to come up with a better name. No, it's Turtle 2. Less is more.
Well, what matters is her real name, Mrs. Frida Novikov.
All right, fine. But then you missed something out there.
I missed something?
You missed something because
Do you know how many hours, how much time and energy I spent cataloging everything I saw out
I
there?
need your help finding an answer that makes sense. Well, I guess on all your travels, you finally learned to focus on someone else beside yourself. Not.
Oh. Wait, pick it up! Harry! Harry said that.
Nash?
Don't do it! Don't listen. Don't do it! Stop it. Hurry, can you stop it? Look at it before he finishes. Do something. No!
An enemy infected my mind with nightmares and visions. When it tried to help me, I attacked it. So if you think the Speed Force wants to hear from me, Barry, then you don't understand what the Speed Force wants.
Barry, we're already here.
Uh-oh. You
What's
poisoned or something?
going on? What's happening to the Speed Force?
We are dying, Barry Allen.
That's not... How is that possible?
Because of what you did.
Some my kids running with their kids. I saw Nora. But now that chain of lightning, it ends with us. And if you think that I'm gonna bring you back in after everything that you have done,
Wally.
you need to find another teacher.
Wally. We...
A few months ago, a substance entered the Speed Force. Something that we'd never encountered before. We tried to contain it, but it contaminated us.
Spectre?
It upset the balance of our energies.
Is it the Spectre?
Created white lightning. You said you're in tune with the multiverse. Does that include the Speed Force? You could give me the energy boost I need.
Oh, Christ.
Crisis, I made the Spectre give me his energy so I can enter the Speed Force again.
Come on, not again.
Every little thing pissed you off. You didn't want a father or a sister or a brother. But look at the man that you are now. The sensitive, intelligent, compassionate man that you have become. And it's not because of some mystical energy source out there. It's because you did the work. Now your responsibility is to continue to do the work to be that man. Do you understand me, son?
You're not Nash. Hello, Cisco. Goodbye. You're in Nash's body. No powers.
Uh-oh. Oh, God, good job, let's go. Ow. Ugh, Cecile, Jesus.
Nash? But he's so full of hatred.
That's not Nash. Novikov, stop. You don't have to do this.
I don't have to. I want to.
for using. Oh, my boy Wally. Oh God, Wally.
Zipov again, and I'll age him 1,000 years.
No, listen to me, listen.
I don't want your help.
We know. Thanks for the tip, Flash.
What do you want?
What do I always want? To kill you. And I'm done being patient. Then I'm going to kill your family. And then I'm going to kill your friends. But isn't it true that in a few short weeks, you're going to be powerless to stop me, right? Because your Speed Force is dead. I can feel it. And that's what you get, Barry, for trusting such a puny, pathetic force. That's why I built my own. I'm coming.
Even if things don't unfold the way you expected, don't be disheartened or give up. The one who continues to advance will win in the end. I love you, Dad.
I love you too. Too damn much. You be careful, okay?
Yes. Dad, keep an eye on Iris for me, will you? There's something different about her.
Oh, Wally, jeez, thank you.
The negative Speed Force. If he can make one, then... So can we. I need your help to build an artificial Speed Force.
Uh-oh.
Thought I deleted this.
Thank you. Cancel, no. Oh God. Oh no.
Wait, no.
God dang it. Finds out and that's it, huh? Okay. Well, feck. I mean, I wanted Camella to freaking not delete the picture. Apparently didn't delete it. She saw the picture. Now she's gone. So I'm assuming that's sent her to the mirror world where Iris is at, or maybe just in a different area. I wonder if she'll wind up like in the mirror world, but in where she's at, and like I think the mirror world's supposed to be like the exact same as ours, just obviously mirrored. But so that means she's in like the building she was in when she was sent away. I think it. And Thawne, he's back, but he did give Barry the idea of making a Speed Force. Now he said artificial Speed Force. I was wondering if maybe he could somehow jumpstart the Speed Force, but I guess make another one, which is strange. Would that work for all speedsters though? Like, would it just be for Barry, or would that, like, if he were to use it on himself, would that spread throughout? And like, would it? He said artificial Speed Force, so would it be like an artificial Speed Force in the sense of like it's actually working as a Speed Force for like the original one did, and sends out through all the speedsters that exist already? And I thought it was gonna be because of what happened with Ramsey, but apparently it was a Spectre, which is funny, just because I decided to wear this just because I wanted to wear a Nero shirt, and turns out Spectre is kind of the cause of the death of the Speed Force, which is ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe the Speed Force is gone, at least for now. God, he had to watch his mom die again. That's like what, the third, fourth time he's seen her die. He had to see it again after Flashpoint. I can't remember, third or fourth time. Yeah, third or fourth time he had to see her die again. So that's cool. Man, Wally, it was so. it started off so like kind of happy with Wally. I mean, you kind of figure it's not gonna maybe end that way just because I mean it's a superhero show. It's gonna have to go that route. But like it was cool just having Wally back in the first place. Like he just shows up. That was he doing time remnants because it looked different the way he did it. Like he didn't. I don't know if it like if he phased or not phased. I'm sorry. Like whenever it looks like they're doing the time remnants and it's like they split apart like that. It looked more like it was like going out like making copies like maybe like a time mirage, but they had physicality, so time remnant make more sense. But like he also has like other skills that Barry doesn't have. Like he's very even like you gotta teach me that. It's really cool that freaking basically Barry Wally kind of became a teacher for Barry for a short time, because of his like the training he had, not the training, but the like well I guess yeah the teachings he had from I forgot the guy what his name was, but from him. That was so cool. If we could make a Lotus out of the Speed Force, that was crazy. Like, what else could he have done with like could he make like an electric ball and just shoot it out? That's sick. I wonder like how much of the Speed Force they have right now, or if they used it up, taking her down. He said he had to, I mean I think he still has his powers, so it's not gone yet. This is a pretty emotional episode. Like one thing with freaking finding out that Barry finding out that he was responsible in a sense for killing the Speed Force. That the conflict he and Wally had. That like freaking Keenan did such a great job. Like god dang, he's grown so much as an actor. Like he wasn't bad when he first came in. His character has definitely grown though, because I remember when he first came in, I didn't hate him, but he got on my nerves. But he's grown tremendously, and it's kind of more what Keenan's like nowadays because he's also grown. But no, he's like Joe said, he's more sensitive, kind-hearted, sympathetic, wise, definitely wise. Like it's crazy, like putting him against season 2 Wally, huge contradiction. Contradiction. Just there's a huge difference there. Just like the conflict he and Barry had, like whenever he found out that Barry had something to do with the Speed Force dying, and that he didn't come to him before, when it had happened. That he kind of just, as he had said it, blown him off. Which I mean, it wasn't the case. I mean, he was speaking out of anger. Because after Joe talked to him, he realized that Barry would have beaten himself up without what Wally had said, and he definitely felt terrible after realizing, coming down and coming to that conclusion. And just also the Joe and Wally scenes were great. Like Joe with anybody is just great, but like that's the scenes with them this episode were fantastic. Like. I don't know what it was, like whenever he was talking, like when they were in Joe's office and he was talking to Wally, about how he's grown, how he was when he first met him, and how he's grown to be this kind. What were the words he said exactly? I wanted to get those. I guess I didn't write it all down, but sensitive, caring friend. Just whenever they were having that conversation, he was going into that. It was very emotional for me. I don't know what it was. Like I felt like kind of. I think it might have been some residual from maybe his reaction with Barry, and I don't remember if the scene when Barry went into the Speed Force before. Like I definitely felt like tears were kind of like threatening to come down, but and the scene at the end also with Barry or with Wally. I keep seeing Barry with Wally and Joe. Speaking of which, I'm glad Wally brought it to Joe's interest that something seems different about Iris. I'm kind of sad. Well, thing is, Barry noticed it too, but Iris kind of came down on him about it. So I think more now he's trying to be a little more open to how different she is and not analyze it too much. And unfortunately, Joe hasn't noticed it yet. I mean, he's probably noticed it, but I think he might have chalked it up to just her being stressed out. But Joe, or Wally at least, was able to had brought it to Joe's attention that to keep an eye on her and that something's different about her. So something else is going on between with whatever this Iris is. Like we saw, I don't know if it's because just of Eva, if she's becoming unstable, or if the projection is becoming unstable, so it's affecting her, or they're both like they're just, or some, if like maybe the tether between the world, like the fact that they're one's in the mirror world, one's in the real world, and that's what's causing them to be like, you know, freaking out and kind of sort of breaking down in a way. But yeah, something's going on with that. And I was hoping that Iris would have seen, but I guess some people call her Siri, would have noticed the Siri kind of doing the same thing that Eva was doing. But unfortunately, she had closed it because, you know, she was losing her grip on the ability. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she was actually losing grip on it. But either way, she wasn't able to see the Siri react the same way as Eva did. So it's interesting that the issue with Iris, like, that's lasting a lot longer than I expected it to last. I thought maybe last 1 or 2 episodes, but it's what, episode 14 right now. I don't know if they're going to 20 or 22. But like still, it's gone on quite, like, it was the first episode since coming back to the crisis. So I think that was episode 9 was coming back. Was that when we came back? Was it 9 or was it 10? It was 10. Okay, so yeah, episode 10. So it's been 4 episodes, which isn't. I mean, thinking about it, it's not. I guess not a whole lot, but in a sense, it is. It's basically been over a month since she's been in there. So, like, because anytime they've done something like this, like they've been in a situation that would like begin at the end of an episode, and usually they fix it by at least the end of the next one. If not, then maybe in the middle or the end of the second one. But no, this is it's like Flashpoint. It started at the end of the finale of season 2, and then they finished it by the end of the first episode. Even though it did have long lasting effects, and the same thing with when he went into the Speed Force. A lot of people having issues with both of those things, that they didn't last long. This one wasn't even like a finale ending. It's in the basically like mid-season premiere kind of. So it's just lasting longer than I expected it to. But whenever the green, I guess the time energy or whatever you want to call it, whenever they showed it, I was thinking it was Turtle, but you know, then she showed up, and I was like, I guess it could be, you know, the whole thing with that, you know, Meta's reading new looks and everything. I'm wondering if this is like if they both exist in the same Earth now, or if it's just if she's taken his place. But what kind of made me think it wasn't the Turtle ability was the fact that it aged things too. Like it increased. I thought it was it's essentially speeding up time. Like when it caused the helicopter to rust, and then when it caused her to age to 110 years old. I think what it said that it took. I forgot how Cisco explained it, but it basically like the age. It's like the reverse of being frozen in time, like Aang, or I guess Captain America. Like there, she was frozen. It's within a second, but for her inside that sphere, it happened like it was years for her, but it was a second for us. It's like again like it's something like that. Either way, basically, I feel like it's just they sped up time is kind of an easier way to say it. I mean, that's probably not right, but that's just the easiest way for me to think about it. I know I'm having a hard time kind of getting hold of that, or at least explaining it. But anyway, it's interesting just to see like the different take on the ability, like how the fact, you know, Earth Prime seeing another version, like they said, a new paint job of not just the person but on the ability itself. And it really sucks too, because like with Iris being stuck, and we're going back real quick to Iris being in the mirror world. she didn't get to be with Wally while he was there. It was her freaking Siri version that was with him, and she just got to see him from afar. But he was only there for a little bit, and she hadn't seen him in years, I think, or at least a year, because again he was there for the finale, the premiere. Sorry, the premiere for season 5. So, and he hadn't been back since, I don't believe. I hope he comes back, like at least like maybe to help with getting Iris out if she doesn't get herself out anyway. But yeah, I've been wondering what was going on with Barry. Like I know we've already kind of gone over the topic, but I've been wondering because whenever I thought maybe whenever he in the first episode coming back from the crisis, when he slams his fist on like the jail bars, we saw the Speed Force or the electricity going around his hand. I thought maybe with the fact that there's only one Earth, that maybe the Speed Force wasn't spread out across multiple the multiverse, so it was just on one Earth. And so like it was like he was getting used to maybe like the more focused, streamlined Speed Force, so it was like overwhelming almost, like a boost in power. But it was in flux, I guess. It was spiking in going in and out. And like another thing was that when he was injured, I don't know if I kept it in the reaction, but because I don't remember, it's been a minute now since that episode. But whenever after the Valentine's episode, he was holding his side, saying that he was still sore. It was weird the fact that he should have healed from that, like the moment they were done. I mean, he healed. Was it in the first season? They showed when he broke his hand or shattered or whatever, it healed within like 3 hours or something. So something like that, whatever had happened, it should have been fine the next day at the very latest. But it might have just been coincidence, or might have been something that Wells do. But whenever Nash said, you're finally, when he was talking to Cisco, you're finally looking at somebody else except for yourself. Not. I thought maybe that was something because I just thought it was something Harry said. And so I was hoping that maybe Cisco would catch on to that, but I don't think that was the case. Maybe it was, but it just wasn't like it was like hinting at they can kind of sort of take over his body, even though it didn't. Harry or Sherlock didn't do that. I don't know, like if they were very antagonistic as well. I mean, it could just be the fact that they're dead, but so they're not too happy about that one. I wonder if the others is Thawne like permanently in, or at least does he have a firm hold on Nash? Is he not like switch out or something? I'm wondering if like Harry and any other Wells can like take over Nash for a bit, when they need something. Another crazy skill, well, a couple of the other skills Wally picked up was one, being able to project his mind into the Speed Force without his body, which is ridiculous. I mean, I love, like, I know in the comics like Wally's supposed to be stronger than Barry, so I think it's really cool that they did that for at least a little bit though before the Speed Force is kind of going away. I mean, if they are able to find a way to fix it, because otherwise I don't know how they would continue the show, then Wally would probably get his powers back, hopefully. I mean, I don't know what the extent of the artificial Speed Force is going to, what will be its capabilities, and what will be its reach, but if he does, like, he'll still be, I guess, have more insight than Barry, so he'll be able to help him out and teach him. Hopefully, but he would have to be on the show, and I don't know if they're gonna bring him on as a. I'm blanking on as a recurring or is it recurring? Back on more permanently than just making an appearance every now and then. But also the fact that he was able to bring Barry in with him, like without Barry even knowing, like without really having to touch him or anything, he just brought him into the Speed Force because they were both connected to the Speed Force, so he was able to kind of like, I guess, reach into Barry in a way and project them both into the Speed Force, which is really cool. Like, again, Wally's just grown so much. He's grown like leaps in terms of his grasp on the Speed Force. He's grown in that more than Barry has. What made it even sadder, like, what added the emotionalness to Barry and Wally's interaction argument was that whenever he was saying that the Speed Force showed him visions of the future, he saw himself running with his children, because with the Speed Force, they're all linked with the chain of lightning of the Speed Force. He even saw Nora, but because of that, like that tether was kind of severed. So it's just sad to think about. I mean, I really hope that if they're not able to um, revitalize the Speed Force, if they'll at least be able to create this artificial Speed Force Barry's talking about, and that it'll act in the same way, like I said, as connecting the different speedsters. Hopefully the ones that had a connection to the Speed Force as well, they don't have to be like affected by it again. I really hope that, because I want Wally to be able to use the Speed Force. You know, I didn't think about it, but because of the Earth's merging, Atlantis is now on Earth Prime, which is awesome. I mean, they probably won't bring in someone like Aquaman, but I mean, I also didn't think they would bring in someone like Ezra Miller's Flash, but that was for the crossover and it was for one scene, so that's a bit of a stretch to bring in someone like Aquaman. They could bring in a different version of Aquaman, but I don't know if they would be able to, because I mean, they can use the Flash, so it's not like I don't know. It's very they're very I don't want to say stingy, but yeah, iffy on who they let them use. Because they don't have, I mean, they recently they can't have Batman, I don't think. So that's why he hasn't ever had an appearance really. But anyway, I didn't think about it until they mentioned. I think they mentioned it in like one of the first episodes they came back to, but I forgot. And then they mentioned that Kayla mentioned Cisco was able to visit there when he left. But I hate the most about Thawne coming back is how intent he is on killing Cisco and like his need to drive that into his head. Like I hated it because one, he I guess he didn't think about the fact that he doesn't have his powers because he ran to Cisco normally, like he didn't speed over to him, so somehow it didn't hit him. Like I don't have my powers, so he tried to phase through his hand and kill him like he normally does when he kills people. But luckily it didn't work. Cisco was able to at least put up a fight, which I was happy about. But this is why Cisco would have helped if you had kept your powers. You don't have to use them like, as a vigilante or as a hero, as a superhero, but you could protect yourself and your loved ones if need be. But anyway, luckily Cecile was there to help to save him, basically. But even when he was in the pipeline, which they haven't had anybody in there in a while, I don't think. No, they had Nora in there before. But luckily he doesn't have his power, so he can't do anything. I don't think he would have been able to escape either way. And he was telling Barry he's going to kill him, then his family, then his loved ones, like Cisco, and did that motion. Pisses me off so much. What I'm wondering is though, since Jesus, that was weird. Since the Speed Force has died, because usually it's like I guess like a term, the relationship between the Speed Force and Thawne's negative Speed Force, like this negative Speed Force kind of feeds off of the Speed Force, or like if I was gonna say I wonder if it would get stronger, but now that this Speed Force is gone, would it not have anything to feed off at all, and then would it get weaker? I don't know how it works in the show, because I'm pretty sure I could be wrong about this, but I think in the comics like the negative Speed Force feeds off of the Speed Force, so it's like the stronger the Speed Force gets, the negative Speed Force either keeps up or is a little bit stronger, because it'll be feeding off of it, so it'll keep losing that energy even though it's creating it, but to the negative Speed Force. So with the Speed Force gone, would that affect the negative Speed Force in terms of I want to say in a negative way. I don't know how else to word that. Will the negative Speed Force become weaker, basically? So at first I was thinking it would get stronger. Like I was thinking like one is the whole one is weaker while the other one becomes stronger. But if there's nothing there, then would it just completely take over, or will it get weaker because there's nothing to feed off of? Anyway, went on that too long. Sorry. And it's interesting because it now puts another kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Crutch. Not a crutch. I'm sorry. What's the word? It gives an obstacle to the Speed Force, so Barry can't just like run in and fix things anymore. At least for the time being, unless they figure out the issue with the Speed Force. So that's gonna be, I don't know how long that problem's gonna span. I can't imagine it to be done next episode. Like I don't know. So it's going to be an interesting next few episodes if that's going to be like a problem they have to deal with until they fix it. And Barry, like, when his conversation with Iris, she's mentioned that maybe it's better this way, you know, and I can finally live your own life with, you know, we can be happy. He definitely seemed like he almost didn't believe that she was saying something like this. Like it didn't match with what he believed Iris would actually say. So hopefully this will help him in kind of realizing that this isn't his Iris, or at least making his way to that conclusion. And he'll have that thing he had before, that like he'll go back to that feeling he had when he looked at the mirror, a couple episodes ago, I think it was, either last episode or a couple of episodes ago. So hopefully he'll be able to figure out if this will help him in figuring it out. And with Camella gone now, I don't know, like Cisco will have to look into it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have his vibe power, so he can't really see what happened here, or there, not here. But with Camella being gone, like she'll be missing, unless Eva creates another version of her. I don't know how what the plan is there. Cisco will be investigating, and he might somehow find a way to like notice that it was Iris and find out that it's not Iris actually. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Like, God, this was a great episode, like fantastic. Like as much as I hate Thawne, like he was only in it for a short time, but he kind of elevated the episode a little bit, like with the conflict he brings, and with the possible issues that he's gonna bring as well, because the threat he gave Barry, and again, Tom Cavanaugh's best characters has always been Eobard Thawne. So just that's the scene he had there with Cisco, and then the scene when he was in the pipeline it was great. And then just like the performances from Keenan and Joe, you know, the interactions they had with him, Wally and Barry as well. Just every interaction, every scene with Wally in it was fantastic. So I really hope that he'll come in more than just this episode this season. Especially to find a way to, you know, connect the Speed Force to all his features again. I want to get an update on how Wally's going to be doing with that. But until then, guys, that is it for this week's episode of The Flash. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. If you want to stick around for next week's episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support us, go and check out our Patreon where you get access to all the early access to any catch-up series that we have. And you also get access to polls, which one is up right now, to vote on a show to replace Mob Psycho 100. So if you want to be in on that, go and check out our Patreon. Again, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys next week.